Hello everyone, welcome back to Talk Tottenham here with your host Tom. Guys, it feels absolutely ages ago since my last video, but Tottenham are back in action tomorrow evening in the FA Cup fourth round at home to Manchester City. And so in this video, guys, I want to be previewing that game, giving you guys who I think is going to be starting tomorrow evening, and we can talk a little bit about also some incomings and outgoings, and let's just get straight into it then, guys. So as I say, it feels like a long time ago, I think, since the last game. It feels like a long time, but it's great to have Spurs back in action, and tomorrow is just going to be an almighty match, really, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it's probably the draw that we didn't want in hindsight, with City being in the form that they are at the moment. But I just feel at the moment the way that we're playing at home, the crowd behind us under the lights Friday night, I think I'm really going into this game in a positive frame of mind. And just listening to the reports this week and the team news, and it's good news, guys, on the injury front with James Maddison back in training. Lo Celso isn't too far away. He's targeting, I think, the Brentford game next Wednesday. That's really good news. Mana Solomon isn't too far away now as well. So guys, I think we're getting closer, I think, to seeing that first 11 back together again, that we haven't seen for so long, but the team that just performed so well in those first 10 games or so. So I think looking ahead to tomorrow, I don't foresee that Ange is going to change too much in terms of formation. I think we're going to stick to the tried and tested 4-2-3-1, which has served us so well this season, and that means obviously Big Vic, Venom Vicario starting in the sticks, he's just done so well this season. He's exactly what we needed, with the goalkeeping position kind of being kind of a bit of a weak area for Spurs of late in the last few years. So Vicario, he's just added that presence and that assurance in there as well. I think starting at right back would definitely be, again, Mr. Consistent Pedro Porro. Incidentally, guys, it was very interesting to see that a Saudi team came in and bidded for Emerson Royal earlier this week, and I think Spurs turned down around about a £20 million bid for Emerson. Now, I was a bit shocked, to be honest, when I heard that news. I think Spurs probably were interested maybe in that offer, but I can see why they've rejected it, because we don't have that much cover at right back, and should Porro get injured in the second half of the season, Emerson's probably only one of those likely players who would come in and fill in. So in a way, I'm glad that he's staying, and I think that's good. Next to Porro at centre-back, I'm going to be going with Christian Romero and Mickey van der Ven. They looked so good, didn't they, in the last match, guys, against United at Old Trafford. Great that Dragusin is coming now. He's going to provide really, really good stiff competition for them as well. Obviously, Ben Davies has done well as well. I'm not quite sure how far Davies is away in terms of his injury. Hopefully he isn't too far away as well, because Ben Davies has been one of the unsung heroes for Tottenham this season. And coming in at left back to complete that five-man defence, and our first choice back line, Destiny Udogie. Not really much more I can say about Udogie this season. He's just an absolute beast, isn't he? He's a monster of a left back. Played so well consistently played well this season, and I'm just looking forward to seeing you doggy play tomorrow, and hopefully taking it to the City back line. So absolutely brilliant, guys. To see that defence back together again, I think that gives Tottenham the foundation that we need to play our football. So obviously moving on into the midfield, clearly Basuma and Sarr aren't around at the moment. They're both away at the African nations. So Rodrigo Bentancur, for me, will get the nod in one of those double pivot roles. And what was interesting, guys, was that next to Bentancur, Skip and Højbjerg actually did really, really well at Old Trafford. They both had really good games. Looking at that lineup, the first time I saw that before the match, I thought, crikey, that's a very it's a midfield lacking much creativity, but as it turns out, they all played pretty well. So Ange just got a bit of a decision to make in terms of who he partners with Bentancur, whether or not he goes with Højbjerg or Skip. I'm not sure. I've got a feeling he'd just about go with Skip. He seems to have the slight sort of Ange sort of favours him that little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if Højbjerg does start. But it'll be one of the two. But for me, I think Oliver Skip. I know he's coming for a bit of criticism, and I've always been a big Skip fan. But as time goes on, I'm starting to wonder myself really whether or not he is going to be able to play that many games in this Spurs team. When you've got the likes of Sarr and Basuma and Lo Celso and Maddison fit. Probably Skippy's going to be, unfortunately, down that pecking order. But having said that, if we're in Europe next season, we're going to have lots of games. Skippy, if he's happy, playing that kind of bit part role maybe in the European competitions as well, there might still be a place for him. But I'm going to go with Skip in this game. Moving on to that front three, then in that advanced midfield position, it's the return to the starting lineup, guys, that we've all been waiting for James Maddison. He's been back in training, I think, for a little while now. So let's hope that Ange just throws him straight back in there, and we're going to need him in this game. And I'm just, for one, absolutely just chomping at the bit to see Maddison play. He was our best player, I thought, earlier on in this season, and I can't wait to see him play again. So for me, Maddison plays in that advanced midfield role, and then to the right of him, Dejan Kulusevski, who we missed a lot. I thought at Old Trafford, we, as I mentioned in my match reaction, we were getting into some fantastic positions in and around their area, but didn't have so much of a cutting edge. I think if Kula had played that game, I think he would have made the difference. So I'm putting him straight back in on that right hand side, and then on the left, Anne just got a bit of a decision here. You've got to imagine that you are either going to play Timo Werner or you're going to play a Brennan Johnson. For me, I think he might just go with Werner in this game. Johnson, unfortunately, after a really bright start to his Spurs career, his form has tailed off, I would say, in the last few weeks. I think some of the criticism he's got has been really unfair, though, for such a young guy who's played probably only around 20 games for Spurs. I think he's definitely raw, but the potential is all there to see. But I just felt like in the United game away, I thought Werner, he looked quite bright, actually, I must say. Every time he got the ball, he looked really, really good with it. And he's a big game player. He's a big game player, and I would stick him right in there and bring maybe Johnson off the bench in the second half if we're chasing a goal and we want to stretch the play and use his pace. So yeah, that means that last starting berth position, guys, up top, is our hitman, Richarlison. 6 in 6 in the Premier League. I think he also scored, didn't he, in the Carabao at Fulham? And did he score in the last round? Can't even remember who we played in the last round, but Richie's certainly on 7 or 8 goals this season, and most of them have come recently. So he gets another start, and yeah. So let's just go through that lineup again, guys. We're playing Venom Vicario in goal, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, and Udogie, with a midfield of Højbjerg, Skip, and Maddison, with Kulusevski and Werner either side of Maddison, and with Richarlison up front. Guys, for me, that's just about as strong as we can go at the moment, but I can't wait until the likes of Sonny has come back from the Asia Cup, and I can't wait until Basuma and Sarr are back as well, because arguably all of those 3 players come in somehow, and try and find a way to get them all in there. But guys, look, it's not going to be an easy game. Clearly, it's not going to be an easy game tomorrow. I think I'm predicting goals. I just think it's going to be a fantastic evening for us as a club tomorrow, and I think the fans are going to make it an absolute cauldron of noise. And look, hopefully we can finish the job on the night, because a replay at City, I think, is going to be always a tricky game, even though we did get a 3-3 draw up there earlier on in the season. But guys, we've got nothing to fear at the moment, absolutely nothing to fear, because we're playing so well, and it seems that we've got our swagger back. So for me, guys, I'm gonna side with Spurs. I think in this game, I'm gonna go for. I think I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Spurs win. I think it's gonna be really tight. I think there's not going to be a lot in it. There could be more goals. It could be 3-2. I was thinking about a 3-2, but let's err on the side of caution, if that's the right description, and go for the 2-1 win, which would just be unbelievable, wouldn't it? If we can get through tomorrow's draw, everyone's going to be predicting Spurs' name on the trophy, although it would just be Spurs' just be like Spurs winning to get through City and then get knocked out in the next round against your championship team. But no, that was the old Spurs. We're a different animal now, guys. And I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments as well. Are you as delighted as I am to see Spurs back? Would you make any changes to the lineup? What do you think about my lineup? Do you think it's got enough to beat City? And what's your score prediction as well? I'd love to find out. Do let me know, guys, in the comments. So tomorrow for me, it's our biggest game of the season, because I think the league is obviously, I'm absolutely delighted with our league form at the moment, and I can't wait for the Brentford game next week. But realistically, probably the FA Cup is the only cup that we can realistically win now, with Liverpool 8 points clear in the Premier League, although still a lot of games to go. But for me, we really need to take the FA Cup seriously, and I'm sure Ange will go as strong as he likes, as strong as he can tomorrow, and it's just going to be a fantastic night. So I'll be putting out my post-match one after the game, and let's just hope it's a night to remember for us, and I can't wait. So guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel. Do like this video, and as always, come on you Spurs.